couple of good flanks there, here or there. Sugu's had a couple of good plays sticking back to like Mirage. But I think I would be in agreement with Blair as well here, Mitch, that this should be potentially a 2-13 or 2-13, a 2-0 for D13.
No, I completely disagree with Blair. I don't know what. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, D13 obviously should be stomping at this game. One benefit that I'll say, last time they played 16-12 on this map, pretty decent. Mazaalai put up a fight. That was with Machine Gun doing the majority of the heavy lifting. Again, Zilkenberg being a little bit quiet. But it's not unusual when you look at Dust 2, when we've, from what we've seen of Mazaalai so far in their opening games, that Machine Gun actually takes the AWP from time to time, wanting to use it not only dependent on spawns, but perhaps just on this map in general. And I think that in the games where we do see Zilkenberg be quiet on that AWP, Machine Gun steps it up from what we've seen. However, up against Annihilation, maybe you're in trouble. This guy is just insane. He's made me scream more times than I can't even say what I want to say, but he's made me scream a lot. Let me put it that way.
All right. I mean, it also is a little bit reminiscent for me of like Davdov and Havoc over in Divine Vendetta, because Havoc will op on this map, whereas Davdov is typically like the opper for the team we've seen. Looks like it's going to be a quick short hit coming out of the T side of Mazaalai, and Nua's going to get the dink on the score. The Goosh on the score forces them back. We're just going to go down to Sugu. That was over, I believe, in towards middle. Even a battle still continuing there up against Mr. Cap. And he's going to get himself a quick little two-piece here. So pissed around looking good for the T side. Finally, scorer's going to respawn with the kill, but his position's given up. He's got 9 health, and he should have no chance of winning this.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at 4 headshots, crispy as can be, without a shot even being returned. If he can do that a couple more times, that's exactly what we're talking about. But no, he's going in for the save at the moment. He has Kevlar to work with. That is a beneficial save, all in all. Because with the money that he'll get in the next round, he can at least get... He can get a FAMAS out, actually, if he manages to save this Kevlar.
Yeah, looks like... Well, as I say, if he goes into T-spawn, I don't know if he's going to be able to save it here. But nice little, you know, again, pace. Like, for me, pacing is such a cool little thing when it comes to, you know, T-sides. We saw with Vici yesterday. I mean, they'll just randomly get aggressive against you. I think that was more due to a lack of respect for their opponent. But they can just change at the pace, and I like that it keeps teams guessing. I mean, obviously pissed around. I don't think they had anyone spotting middle at the time, so they're able to cleanly get up in towards the A site. Which Nua's leading the charge. Speaking of leading the charge, Sugu's gonna be doing just that. Nua's gonna be dunked down about 76 HP off that grenade. There'll be 3 players here to defend this. They do have the scout. She double scout, as Annihilation is gonna be having that over towards CT spawn. And so far, they've won the damage battle. But it's still going to be hard to convert this damage into kills.
The bomb's down in pit, so evidently Mazaalai do want to hit the A-bomb side ultimately. Great on an attempt to hold short, but nothing to happen for him. With Bartek seizing that control, they can easily get up for a split. It's just about closing the distance on the scouts without actually giving them the damage that they are currently connecting quite easily. I mean, half HP Bartek, Sogu, Nuez as well, all one hit to this scout, or to either of these scouts. Tamer's starting to push forward on the smoke. He's not going to go through it, but he'll hold on the right side in case they try to make a move.
And the CTs do have the majority of their players towards this A site. Nuez, though, taking on score, that helps get things a little bit closer. Tamir's not able to get the shots off. He does get, again, the damage done to Machine Gun with the CZ. The damage isn't necessarily enough to get the kills. Look at that. 4 players on 30 health or lower. I mean, all of them are scoutable or deagleable. That's even a word here for Mr. Cap.
He's just got to hit the bodies. He's still in a better position in those fights, but as soon as that headshot's connected, it's all over. And that's heartbreaking, man. I mean, they don't even have 100 HP between their 4 surviving players.
Yeah, super close round.
I would have rathered score take a FAMAS there and play towards the B site. It would allow you to potentially stack up the rest of the players on A and have just one Sentinel playing the mid position. And having the pistols alongside the scout there would have made a lot of sense as well. I think it would have given them a better B defense, although they didn't get pressured there. I just think that's the overall better strategy, but it doesn't really matter that much either way. They probably would have lost the round. With the strategy, Mazaalai deployed the good long control, and now it comes down to trying to make it work up against the USPs, the P250 upgraded. Really, it should be clean, but they still lose a player.
Yeah, they get 1 kill, but that AK, I I think it was an AK. Should be picked up for the T side anyway. It's not too big of a loss. Unless you have some money to use as well. I do want to point out, by the way, Sugu, 2 rounds now. Pistol round and this round. He kind of pushes up middle, gets aggressive, and he gets himself 2 quick kills. Like that's some pretty good consistency so far. Then again, I understand he's against the pistols only here in this round. But it does keep, D13 aware of middle and keeping a lot of tension towards direction if Sugu wants to continue and apply the pressure.
All right. The AWP's in the hands of Score right now. Even as they come out of spawn. He's going to be going for that early peek towards long. He's got the spawn and looks to land himself the kill. He'll be using it the whole round as well because Annihilation has gone to B. Pulled off that long pick by the smoke down. Already out short. Very fast, very aggressive by Mazaalai. And I honestly like that. I know they didn't throw any utility down, but the idea was to get there fast. Unfortunately, the long players were pushed back by the smoke. I think this is, again, a situation where we see 2 valid strategies, but being deployed at the same time. They sort of negate each other. If you don't smoke the corner on long there, those players will stick around a second or 2 longer. They will remain focused on the doors for you walking out. Then your players coming up through short will get there unharassed, at least by the 2 long players, and maybe there's one on site, but that's a much more favorable fight. I think that was a little bit reckless from them. Annihilation goes down, the B side has fallen, even despite a terrible start to the round.
They just come out through a smoke and they take minimal damage. I'm honestly surprised. See them just walk out like that and not lose at least 1 player, maybe some missed shots coming through. Machine Gun now, he's on 3 health. Bartek, he's going to be on 29. Still very doable for the CT side, but they have to be careful. Losing this round, losing their weapons here on a B side retake could be a huge detriment. Rate comes in though and gets 2, and they spot out the last player's score though, connects the shot. Look at the defuse. More importantly, he'll be able to pick up an op as well that's going to be down behind him. Still, it's way too close, and maybe not only are we still waking up here, maybe D13 are, because you shouldn't be missing that many shots. At least more damage should have been done to the T side on their entry. Or maybe I'm being too harsh, Mitch. I don't know.
I don't think you've been too harsh yet, Jason. I'll let you know.
When I start making fun of you, that's when I'm getting too harsh.
That's right. Whoa, that's the line. You watch yourself, buddy. No, but I do think Mazaalai had a great approach to the round in the early short push. A good read that D13 were heavy committing towards long early on. It's just a shame. Now we're not going to see them go for that again. Obviously, 2 rounds in a row, you won't be deploying it. No smoke on the corner as they do go to long this time.
What? What's that, Molly?
Is that just not spread at all?
No, it was like, no, it didn't do anything. That's super weird. Looker gets the kill though on a rate. Nice little flick comes through. But again, Score's going to respawn. He's going to need some assistance though, because Vartek's actually pushed up short. And Score, he gets himself a 2nd kill. Interesting to see that he's actually going to be on the op here. I wonder if it's going to be him and Annihilation. Obviously, as we said before, we've seen the ops kind of changed around, like Machine Gun. We'll see it on Mazaalai's side, though. Zulkenberg's make a name for himself in this round. With only 2 players left, they're looking to head in towards this B site where Annihilation, he'll be waiting.
He's flashed the players, slowed them down a little bit, gets into position for the spray. It's not connecting, but he's done some decent damage at least. The flash not over. Okay. Goes over to check the window. Score didn't have his weapon out for a second. I was a little bit worried. Zulkenberg in there for Tamer towards the tunnels, and it's all onto Score. A 1v2 despite the HP. Zulkenberg close to getting an ace. Machine Gun makes sure that doesn't happen. Doesn't want to be outshone, of course. 4-1. Mazaalai doing a great job in the early Dust 2 at T-side rounds, I gotta say.
I'm a little bit confused why the CT's the retake was just so disjointed. You had Score who was dropping over his op to pick up a FAMAS. It's obviously on a retake B and op. A 2-on-2 isn't going to be ideal. But the second, like not even the second, but before he even, really even gets the FAMAS in his hands, he loses his teammate in towards tunnels. So maybe that was because of position that Mazaalai were holding, though I think it was more about maybe some miscommunication.
I think it definitely should have been communicated that the doors were smoked. At that point, you know that pushing through tunnels will likely lead you right into a player. So yeah, I agree. I think he was trying to get close so that when Score came through the doors or through the window, he could immediately swing with him. And whilst that's not generally a bad idea, just with the additional fact that the door is smoked and you know Zilkenberg's alive with an AWP, it's not really worth playing that aggressive. Bartak straight up through short, catching off a couple of pistols, but he didn't completely get a reward for it, does he? 1-for-1 traded out. Now, any weapon they lose will be a rifle lost. With still lots of pistols to deal with.
Oh my gosh, the ding's coming through. Machine gun down to 6 health. They actually lose Nuez. Sugu has pushed in towards the B side, so at least they have the advantage of that as he got a kill. Still, like, even the rounds Mazaalai are winning, they're not really one-sided, I feel like, except maybe the pistol round. They've been extremely close, low HP across multiple targets. That easily could have gone the way of D13. And I once again want to give a shout out to Sugu because of the way he's been playing. Out of like the 3 saves we've seen out of D13, well, the 2 saves in the pistol round, he's just been a constant nuisance. This time he pushes B alone, he wins the 1v1, then he just flanks CT spawn from it. That shot was insanely close to the smoke.
Feels like it went through his legs. Either way. Oh, that early fight from Bartek. The smoke hadn't bloomed yet. Straight around the corner, taking down Rate. A very valuable scalp to have claimed. Mazaalai, they're doing so well in these fights early on. Sorry, did he just get opt inside doors?
I'm not sure. I think.
Oh, he was.
Maybe
No,
did he peek around the smoke?
Yeah, he was like in the doors. I thought he was in the little room. But no, it was all. It makes sense. It's okay. I like the smoke execute. They're crossing over, not able to be spotted. Good shot by Score, but he can't really do a whole lot more. Just goes up, keeping on the aggression. I respect it. D13 don't want to give away this round. Machine gun and
do it.
The clutch it again, and the shot, the jumping headshot, no scope. I love to see it. Machine gun's all alone. Got to do a 1v3, pull it off. Looking for the headshots now as his HP is pretty low. Mr. Cap's the first to fall, even despite getting a little bit of a kukli in there. This might be a problem.
Kelly. Oh my gosh. What a play out of Score. 4K out of him. The op shots as well. I mean, that was already looking bad, right? Because they lost a player immediately peeking in towards long without the smoke pluming. And then Score saves it, and this is what we talked about. Like, these 3 players, Score, Annihilation, and Rate, can really be the standout. We didn't have Score, unfortunately, yesterday in their match versus Tai Lu have quite a great performance. Neither did Rate. It was Annihilation mostly at the top. Damn, he's coming back with a vengeance today. The jump shot coming through, the finisher with the M4. It gets him another round, more importantly, in the bank. The economy that Mazaalai had, it's dwindled away.
Just styling on him, Jason. A nice team nade on long there. Tamer just jumped as soon as Rate went to throw us out. Love to see it.
I mean, who's in the wrong there? The guy throwing the nade or the guy jumping in front of him?
Yeah, well, whichever one of them didn't talk. If Rate called the nade, then it's all on Tamer. No, wait, if Rate didn't call the nade, it's on him. If he did, it's on Tamer.
I don't know. I don't scream, nading long, out of the way, please, and then nade.
Well, yeah, I guess it's true. It's true.
Do you do that? Is that you in matchmaking?
Yeah.
Guys,
peek this
listen,
corner.
I'm nading.
Watch out. Hey, just to like Call of Duty voice lines like "Granada."
What?
No, it's like in the I don't know, World at War, I think.
Last COD I played was like Blackout 1, or yeah.
Black Ops, you mean?
Black Ops 1, yeah.
There we go. Probably like same for me. And the new Modern Warfare, that's pretty good. 1v1 duels, nothing better. But look, we're rocking into a 3 versus 2, a retake. What could have been a retake towards the B site. Quite odd there that they didn't have both players coming in towards the site, especially with Sogu having a smoke. All right.
To me, it was like a nading, B tunnels, guys, stay out of the way.
Watch out, watch out, back off. I don't know why that reminds me. This is a really random segue. There was a video, I don't know if you saw it ages ago, Jason, of a whole platoon. I don't know exactly what a platoon is, like what defines a platoon in quantity, but it was maybe like 30, 40 soldiers. And someone, I was going to say like a general, someone that's in charge of them is there showing them how to do stuff at a range where you throw grenades.
Yeah.
And he pulls the pin in a grenade, throws his hand back to like, you know, prime it, get ready to throw it, and accidentally lets go of it and drops it on the floor behind them. And everyone, it was so funny. People were just running, screaming, but it was a dud. Like, he was just messing around.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
he played it so well. Like, his acting, I didn't know that the drill sergeants were actors as well, because this guy, he had me going. But
So a platoon, by the way, is a subdivision of a company of soldiers, usually forming a tactical unit that is commanded by a subaltern or lieutenant, divided into 3 sections.
there's
No,
no
I
way
did
to
not
tell
Google
by
that.
looking at them. Oh yeah, you just know that.
Yeah.
By the way, common knowledge here, Mitch. The platoon is a division of...
I mean, my brother was in the military, so clearly.
Oh, right, okay. He taught you all the definitions.
Yeah. Well, it's not looking good here for the CT side. This is just the pistol spot up for Mazaalai. Well, it wasn't looking good as they did lose right off the bat, but they started talking about it. I noticed that Mr. Cap came in and got himself a kill. And he had Tamir get 2. And they won the round. So not too bad of a round, I guess I should say. Though Rate's going to be a little bit frustrated that he lost his weapon. Now, obviously, it does eat away at the economy that D13 had. They're on the verge of having it all tied up at 5 apiece. And with the way Mazaalai were playing, you know, they were up 5-1. Now they lost the last 3 rounds, which you can understand because they obviously had a save in there. But I'm hoping they haven't run out of strategies. I'm hoping they haven't run out of like steam here because D13 seemed to have a pretty good read. They even went for a 4-man stack towards long off the bat, expecting the rush out to come in, and well, they were correct, but only able to trade out 1 for 1, and eventually here it comes in, but it's still just the 2 for 2.
Yeah, they've lost long control here as well, right? With those smokes down, they can't really afford to continue facing. Annihilation even got spammed through it. And just yesterday, I was watching the Spirit versus Namiga game, and that was desolation. Namiga went 2-0 up and then lost 16-2. But Sundai Young hit an insane shot where he just came out on long, he knows his angles, and he sprayed straight through the smoke to grab the player that was sitting CT. How is no one watching that? Is my one and only question. Annihilation was busy with doors. Score was looking at short. You've given up long control, what, 20 seconds ago? And they're like, I bet they won't come here. I mean, it's a ballsy play. Just, like, you're not going to push long. Unfortunately, it doesn't work.
12 grenades already used. Only a few rounds in. I mean, Score, he's having a pretty damn good game, to be honest. Like him on the up, obviously, you know, Dust 2 is another map we would expect to see double up, but we haven't really seen him use it too much so far over his last couple days and over the 2 games they've had. Annihilation, well, we've seen him. Let's see what he can do in Sugu. Like, this seems to be like almost the plan for Mazaalai is just do things unchoreographed, right? They rush out short, no smokes, no flashes to catch them off towards long. This time they rush out towards middle. Well, at least one player does. And they will get caught out.
There's the downside of not having it choreographed, I guess. Especially when you've already given up your hand. They know you're coming through short. I don't see the benefit of just blitzing forward. Flash around the corner. Nuez was playing counter flash, though, and he's able to easily take that kill. Hasn't spotted Score up in the corner, though. That could be a little bit of a problem. They cross over. 2 players now on the site. Zilkenberg still towards long. The smoke... Oh, they've checked him. And that's pretty much ruined that strategy. Annihilation on the tag, not the kill, but Mr. Cap finishes him off. Okay, they've got a chance.
Annihilation's burning up too. He actually sat in the molly for that shot on a Zilkenberg. Oh, what a shot out of Mr. Cap. Puts now on a machine gun. He only has the AK. Bomb will be planted for him, but they have a flash and a smoke left. He's actually going to push up behind the smoke. Spots out Mr. Cap. Bomb is being stuck. It's going to be a 10-second defuse here, so somehow Mr. Cap's going to have to keep the attention away from the bomb, or from the guy who's going to be defusing, but there's only 2 seconds left, and it looks like he's going to be able to stick this completely through. Shinga, not sure the player is going to be not able to rescue the op, and that's actually Mr. Cap able to secure a second, so they'll maintain their double op setup, and now Mazaalai probably just going to go back to the pistols.
Yeah, he picked a hell of a time to step it up, didn't he? Mr. Cap coming through, pulling at 5-6, and Mazaalai in a spot where, as you're saying, they're on the pistols. They're not looking good. Their early T side's been good. I think I can't criticize it too much. They've been very solid on opening duels as well. Like Bartek swinging on long with a Galil versus an M4 and an AWP, and he still won the duel. It was pretty impressive. But all in all, we need to see them continue to perform. That's the issue. My God, through the smoke, Zilkenberg jumping around corners with a Tech 9 in hand, scores in a lot of trouble. Connects the headshot eventually, but can't fall back in time. Luckily, he's got a teammate there to finish off that fight. Drop the AK and indeed the bomb, leaving Sogu all by himself. Unfortunately, he won't be going anywhere, as it's 6-6. And D13 have claimed the advantage. They didn't get it cleanly though, right? They did lose a lot of players, but with a double op setup, save forward, they're not going to be crying about it tonight.
You know what I will be crying about tonight?
What's that?
He won't be gooing anywhere.
Oh, Sogu.
You disgust me sometimes, man. To be fair, I do the same for you. Oh. They changed things up. They put scoring towards mid. Put annihilation towards long. I guess that's just based off of spawns, and I'll still be the 1-for-1 trade machine gun. He's got the op. Bartek's gonna get the kill onto Mr. Cap, and not before being taken down to 15 HP. Yeah, and these picks are just landing without really... What?
That's the worst, man. When you go out long, you think you've got the play. They're still walking into annihilation on this A-bomb site. He's pulled off by the flash. He needs to get this shot. Oh, 2 in a row. Annihilation, don't do that to us. Okay, let's put it on the cards. We cannot compliment annihilation as he's about to come into a play, or he'll miss the easiest of shots. I think that's a first for him. Like, the first one is a flick, the second one, though. Ooh.
What I don't get about this, though, is that how many of these kills just came through without a flash, without a smoke, without something being done to assist it. They were just one-on-one battles, and Mazaalai won them. That worries me. I mean, it's working. They're up 7-6, so I can't really argue too much, and, you know, potentially 8-6 here since it's just a scruffy buy. But this is not looking like well coordinated at all. Maybe it's just because it's a domestic matchup and they know each other very well. But we're not seeing any team play out of Mazaalai. Is that just me, Mitch?
I think there's some instances. Like, you look at the round that we just saw. When they push into annihilation, they had a smoke down short. They flashed
well, I
through
mean,
it
yeah, he's
in.
alone, though.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? In these early duels, it tends to be very heads-up Counter-Strike. They're just going down middle at the moment. Nearly 200 damage done by Rate on the CZ. He's looking for even more, continuing to aggress, supported from afar by Annihilation, who gets the trade. They're not going aggressive on short, but if they did, they'd find a very low HP Nuez. And this is one hell of a round to lose, Jason. I mean, a CZ bottom mid is what's essentially given 2 kills. Score didn't check the left side. He just walked straight through. If I was Rate there, I'd be like, careful left, careful left, careful left. But no, there was no one there, and he just took the alpha play.
Rescue the SOP out of machine gun. 20 seconds left. They have a man who's been able to push up short, but the bomb is still going to be down in mid. It looks like they're just trying to save their weapons, and yeah, it makes sense. Go into the last round. Have really not much money for Zilkenberg. Well, you'd have no gun for machine gun. Or Nuez. And this is looking like it should be an 8-7 for D13 just based off guns alone. They're taking Sugu. Will be able to force up as well as machine gun, but the rest going to be on just the pistols. But as we just saw, sometimes all you need is a pistol. That CZ did some good work here. As you said, Rate doing almost 200 damage with initial dink up on a Nuez, then the kill. That was pretty.
You see the difference in style with pistols when you're on the CT side versus T. You know, terrorist, how do you maximize your potential? You go for rush. Oh, that's exactly what they're doing in this round. Not with the pistols, though. The AK leading the charge, flash around the corner, didn't even catch Bartek properly. He could see, he wasn't dabbing. Doesn't matter, though. Look at the aggression by Score as well. Pushes over, but they didn't get the memo. So he's been mollied out of that corner by his teammate. Tamer's got a double. Of course he has long range, tapping away on the AK. And with that, Mazaalai are not in a good spot. They have lost all their AKs. It's the 3 people that died were the ones with the machine gun, as it's the other operative, Zilkenberg, left alive, but he won't be finding anything either. 8-7 as D13. They had a decent recovery on the half. And these are always really interesting ones to look at in terms of the timeline. The first 3 rounds go to Mazaalai. They lose 1, bounce back immediately. And even the one they lost, they got a bomb plant in. So those first 6 rounds were definitely looking very much T-sided for them. They were dominating. And then D13 bounced right back in, pulled the scoreline into a favored spot, winning 8 out of 10 of the last rounds. 8 out of 9 even, actually. And that's a... it's not a spot you really want to be in if you're Mazaalai. I mean, they definitely built the good early foundations, but those late full buy rounds just were not going their way. And as a matter of fact, Jason, the only round they did win that on the full buy was when, you remember, D13 pushed everywhere, right down through long. They had players coming out through the B side to go back to middle. It was madness from them.
Oh, wow. What a shot Nuez there. He's on 15 health, but he goes for the challenge again. And when he lost Bartek on his peek around towards short, flashbang comes through, and unfortunately, they're not going to be blind. Annihilation gets a second of the round, looking good for the pistol. Smoke comes in. This is looking like more like team play here. You know, smoke off to potentially go for the push in towards B. Machine gun. Again, he will fall, but he's not for taking down 1, and this should be going the way of D13 now. Suga's left alive in the 1-on-3. Again, I wonder if it's... What is happening here? What is happening? That was awkward. I think Score just, like, shoulder peeked, like, 3 times without shooting a bullet.
Just baiting him. Just letting him know. I'm gonna kill you. Nothing you can do. We do say D13 are favorites coming into this matchup, and I think it's by a relatively significant amount. I know we said that this is the game Mazaalai need to win, because of the... It is in the 3 games that are the easiest for them from what's remaining. But it is not an easy game by any means. It's not one where they... I would even say it's not one where they should have a real chance of taking it. I mean, they've got to be on form and hope D13 are playing a very slow game on the day. And you can see at the moment, that doesn't quite seem to be the case. Scout out with a couple tags, though. Zilkenberg getting off to a good start. Either way, the bomb's going to be planted. At a 2 versus 3. This retake very much favored towards Mazaalai. The only problem is going into B, and Bartek's been isolated in the tunnels before the CTs were even ready to push up.
And yeah, like the one rifle they needed to retake this too. I mean, Score's on 28 HP. Just 1 bullet would have been enough, and there it is. The bullet coming through. Now Zilkenberg with the scout alone. Shots being hit for Tamir, but switches to the P250 and does close it out. But it's still a super costly round here for D13. I wonder if Mazaalai want to look at potentially investing yet again because of the damage done. And obviously, if they do that, they're going to be in a rep position the following round. So just some pistols maybe coming out for their team. A D13 now up to 10 rounds. It's still a very sloppy game, and I really worry thinking about, you know, the sloppiness going into a map like Train, which is our second pick. You can't really afford to play sloppy, especially on that T side. Well, T or CT side. You don't want to be giving up rounds when you're on CT side, and you can't really look to take rounds if you're on the T side.
I just to go to the point you said about Mazaalai force buying, I think there was definitely, as you said, it could be a consideration. The only issue for them, obviously, is what if D13 go long? Right? What if they blitz out long and take that control, smoke off site, get a plant? You've lost the round. And then you force spot up. You got to take an eco next. Now D13 are 12-7. I think it's a risky one. I prefer for them to go for the pistols, play the close angles, like over on B, maybe 3-man stack it, look for some damage. But I mean, they haven't ended up in a bad position. Rate's on top mid, but Nuez is walking up backwards. I think even if he finds the kill on Tamer, he'll be shot in the back by Raid afterwards. You know, look, he's running away. Not a clue there's a player waiting for him here.
And there's still a 1-on-1 on the B site, by the way. Oh, yeah, I was wondering if Zilkenberg was going to go for it. If he had a kit, maybe he could have pulled it off because the last player was in towards T spawn. He's still looking to feel very confident, or fairly confident coming here. But I guess instead of going for the fight, want to protect the weaponry that is down and make sure they don't lose out on Mr. Cap and stabilize things economically. I think this is basically the round for Mazaalai. I think they need to have a strong showing here. You got the op for Zilkenberg, you got an AUG for machine gun. And you need to start picking up some rounds, especially here. Into this last into the CT side, which potentially could be the last, or wow, say potentially the last half of the map. But Jason, it is 7:30, Mitch, so technically not wrong, I don't think. That long control you were talking about, if they want to blast out, smoke off site, go for the plant, could actually be thwarted at the moment as Bartak does get the first kill. But again, Score comes out the smoke at the perfect time, catches him off guard. Now a lot of pressure leading towards A. They have Zilkenberg here. They have Nuez. One of them falls. The other's going to be overrun, especially with it looks like D13 is going to go for the execute towards it.
Oh, well, that's not the spray from Nuez. Don't know what he thought he was spraying, but definitely wasn't an M4. Zilkenberg's got to get something done on the cross. So flash goes over, doesn't connect, but neither does his shot. And that one missed op shot has probably cost them the round. Mazaalai should be saving these two weapons. Actually, a 2v3, I think they should be going for it at this stage of the game. If they can find a pick. I understand why they're doing this. If it was like a 2v4, it would definitely be a save. Flash over. His teammate's coming up through the ramp, so he's got to keep the distraction game up. Machine gun actually finds the kill. Now into a 2v2. The flank on its way from Score on short, but Annihilation has to hold the site. He does so on the first, and the spray is so good. Sogu has 10 health remaining, looks for the kill, but didn't stand a chance with his low health. And that is 12-7. That is D13 pulling into the lead by quite a bit. Mazaalai low on money. And so it should be 13-7 as they take just weak pistols.
A little curious why Score didn't run for the op. I was down towards car. I mean, maybe he didn't have the time. Ended up buying op for Annihilation anyways, and Scores on 25 kills. I mean, Mr. Cap on 6, Rate on 9, so he's having a little bit of a slow game. However, Tamir, it's up to 17. I mean, thing is, like the one game we did see, it was like the 3, right? It was Rate, Annihilation, and Score. But yesterday we got to see Tamir and Mr. Cap start to step up a bit, where Rate and Score weren't able to do so, which is refreshing to see. You know, you don't want to see your two players always bottom fragging. You don't want to see or have to depend on like those 2 or 3 players to carry you through a match. So it's nice to see them be able to step up when it's needed. And just the pistols for Mazaalai, and I mean, ideally this should be 13 on the board for D13.
I gotta say, whenever I look towards Mr. Cap, I feel him, you know? I've been in that position. I've been there.
Every time, you know, listening to like Glenn and Dinko say Mr. Cap yesterday, it always like hold my attention back because of my last name.
Huh. Very true. Mr. Cap on LAN, it would be a different beast. But online, who knows? Now here's the flash around the corner. Tamer spots out short's clear, and they've got access towards the A side. Obviously, they don't know that yet, and the bomb's even down towards tunnels. As a slow push comes through from Nuez, he's been spotted now. Should be the end.
I like the slowdown, though. I mean, like, I feel like most teams will do this. Like, anyways, so, I mean, kind of complimenting them for no reason, but I really respect teams who, like, in pistol rounds like this, or, sorry, when they're playing against pistol rounds like this, really have that forethought to, like, all right, slow the pace down. They're going to almost have to come to us to get any kills. And let's just make sure everyone survives. Like, get these 5 weapons moved into the next round. You don't have much money. You got, you know, Score leading the way at 4,200, but the rest are below 1,000 mostly. You know, play out for like the long game. And I feel like a lot of teams, you know, maybe in this region, maybe in you know, North America, you know, bar like your Evil Geniuses and your Team Liquids, and South America as well, that just don't have that like forward thought, that forward thinking of, you know, okay, if we win this round, you know, great, but we need to think about the later rounds, right, to stop any sort of comeback from coming in. Maybe it comes into the in-game leading role.
I mean, Jason, the reality is, I think a lot of teams ignore this, especially at the tier 2 to 3 level. It's that you can make up the most ground on these top teams by making sure that your force buys, your ecos, your any of those weaker, and your anti-ecos as well, are as efficient as possible. That you've got strats down to, obviously, if you've got the time to research it, down to what do they do when they're on an anti-eco, you know, where's their weakness, where can we rush with pistols, where can we stack, what can we do, like if we go to the A site, throw these smokes, will they go B into our stack, that sort of stuff. If you can maximize your potential on those weaker rounds, you make it so that you don't have to play against as many force or full buys from your opponents. And if they're better than you, you want to make sure, or if they're a higher rated team, sort of more experienced, you want to make sure you minimize their full buys. The spray, even blind, so much damage done. Rate team killed Mr. Cap due to that flashbang that came through, and all of a sudden it's a 3v4. Tamer spamming in the smoke. He's about to run out of ammo. Bartag can push forward, but with the molly he'll still get the kill.
And at the same rate, what you're saying before, by the way, like even just your own economy. I mean, if you have that forward thinking to play out these you know, eco rounds or anti-eco rounds well, not only are they going to have, you know, less buys, but you're going to have more buy rounds as well, like more of a safety net to play with.
Yeah. No, 100%. Like the thing is, I feel like I've seen it on a lot of teams. They come into games and their focus is quite clearly, how do we full buy? Like they think, okay, we're a team, what's our full buy strategy? That's so unfortunate. Bartak is so low, 19 health, but he comes up against the no scoping off, and those are some pretty good odds considering the HP. Yeah, a lot of teams do ignore that aspect of the game, which is so important. I feel like we're at tier 2 to 3 anyways. We're at baseball pre-moneyball. You know, it's just, oh, he looks like a handsome young lad. Let's pick him up. Not actually looking at the stats behind it, I guess.
Did you recently watch Moneyball? Is that
No,
why
no.
that's on the...
I watched it years ago, but you gotta remember, I studied maths at uni, so that's the movie for me. I love it.
That was good. I watched it. I think I watched it on a flight somewhere. It was pretty interesting, actually.
It is. That's a good flight movie. You're getting away with murder if you catch that one.
I'm not gonna lie though, I am really tired. At least like towards the last year, I was flying quite a bit. I was so tired of seeing the Megalodon, or no, the Meg.
The Meg,
on every flight. I mean, I was flying with like different people too, like, you know, Air India and stuff, and that's just every time the Meg, and every time I looked over, there was always someone watching it. I'm like, come on, the premise of that movie isn't that great. Why are you watching this?
That's the thing though. It's like giant shark versus super squid and all this. You're just, its main market is those kind of things. It's like you know, quantity over quality in these kind of instances where you're like, just get it everywhere for the numbers. Although I gotta say, it is a good movie.
You know,
like
I'd watch it for
Statham's
him.
Real, 100%.
But I got the loss phobia, you know. I don't. The oceans freaks me out.
Yeah, dude, I've got a story. One day I'll tell you about sharks. I don't like sharks.
Who does? Score.
No.
Ooh. It's one. Rate responds 1 on 2. Actually, this was looking very good for the CT side, but some trades towards the end have started to favor D13. I mean, the bomb's going to be down. I think it's going to be spotted by Mr. Cap, and Rate, we'll expect him to be here. That's going to be 2 1-on-1s happening, and Rate's going to win on the first. Man's flanking in from behind Zilkenberg. He's got the op, and if he misses the shot, this could be the round going against him. And actually, look at Rate's pushing up short. The timing, the window he's playing with might be perfect. It's like watching, you know, Rate holding on to the end of a boat, being trailed on his bait, and Zilkenberg, the Meg, trying to close in around him. God, that was such a bad movie. Let's see if this movie, though, has a better ending. I mean, Zilkenberg's got the read right. The flashbang, and try to fake it out as if he's towards long. You can see the attention of Rate was turning that towards there, and Zilkenberg will hit the shot. It works out. They win the round, but it was still extremely close considering I think they had like a 5-on-3.
But wait, to be clear, did you watch the Meg?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, I did.
Okay.
So I feel like before I actually watched it, I probably watched like 90% of it over the shoulder of someone else
All right. Okay.
because I was bored on the flight. But to be
Yeah.
fair, I don't think I watched every section of it. I skipped ahead to the action scenes.
Hmm. Oh. Okay. What the hell? I mean, surely that's not the point of it on a flight. You don't want to skim a movie. You want to watch
Oh,
the
no,
whole
no, no.
thing.
So I didn't watch it on the flight.
Oh my
I mean, I
god.
saw like 90% of it over people's shoulders on the flight, but I actually watched it when I was at home.
Okay. You're an odd man, Jason.
It's a terrible
What?
movie.
Were you watching something else on the flight, or just chilling?
I mean, so okay, I'll hold. Actually, no, we have this around. It's fine. I mean, I was home 4 days and like 2.5, 3 months last year at the end.
Mm.
So I was flying constantly, and you know they don't really update the movies enough on those
Oh,
flights. So my goal was trying to sleep for most of them. And, well, when you're a 198 or 6'6" man, you don't really have the ability to sleep on flights.
See, this is what I always come back to, Jason. As a man of perfectly average and acceptable height, those seats are essentially designed for me. I have not too much leg space, but just enough. Just enough that it's not uncomfortable most of the time. Unless
Imagine
someone reclines the seat in front,
Oh,
in which case we're going to
okay.
have a problem.
First of all, screw you, because you're an acceptable height for that chair. Imagine sitting down, having your knees pushing into the chair in front of you, and you can barely see the screen, and then they lean back. So then the screen is so far like down that you have to like get in this awkward position to even see it.
Yeah, I can imagine. Wait, hold on. We got a push coming into the B site. We better focus up, Jason. Score's already found a kill. This could be one of the defining moments for Mazaalai. If they get back in for this retake, they'll be looking fantastic. The problem is, if flash goes over, they're going to push? No. It's a oh, they are. Sorry. Sogu's gone straight on through. They're both dead. Why? Why would you do that? Bartek was still coming in through spawn. I don't know why the timing had to be like push now or don't push at all. Just wait a minute. How about just hold? Couple seconds. I guess because the bomb was going down, they thought, oh, we'll catch him off, but they had 5 players left. If it's a 3v3, I accept that strategy as viable. But when all 5 players are still on B, are you going to hope to blind every single one of them, and that none of them spam where you're coming from, and that you kill the bomb planner and all of them before they're unblind? I don't think so.
I mean, maybe it was a distraction. Like, if we start to push in mid, we could have time for Bartek to get there, so they won't be looking towards the tunnel. But I still feel like he was so far away that there was no chance he was going to get there in time, and you're just going to lose out on too many people. I mean, to be fair, Tamir gets a double with the CZ. But you're still against, you know, a lot of AKs, so I don't know. Well, it's not the first time we've seen them have, like, some miscommunication in their pushes, right?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, we've seen these problems again and again. And it's something that we've highlighted for Mazaalai. Yeah, they don't seem like they've got terrible individuals. They definitely have players that can step it up. Matter of fact, I'd argue at the moment, Machine Gun is underwhelming compared to what we've seen. I expected even more of him coming into this one. Zilkenberg's showing up on the AWP. Bartik is taking up the rifling as well as Sogu and Nuez. There's not a whole lot of problems when it comes to individuals. The issue that they have is not being able to play off of each other, play around each other as a team. Whereas D13 come miles ahead in that department. Even though they're the only team with a team kill on the board at the moment. But, you know, it is how it is.
Well, we're going into maybe the last round here of the half at this rate. It's the last gun round for Mazaalai. If they can't win this, they get the initial trade, and they do have Nuez able to close out a second kill. Score is low on HP. They do have a player pushing up towards short, but he's going to fall to Zilkenberg. Right now, gets a quick double. Turn things into a 2-man affair for both teams. I don't think you want to be peeking long into this. Zilkenberg's got the op, so they already know that because they lost out on Tamir pushing short. But with 1 minute and 15 left to go, we're still going to be down to the 2-on-2.
Well, that was awkward. A chance to take down Sogu, but it fades away. Score could have stuck around and stopped him falling back, but on 16 health, he didn't want to take the dual long range. Oh, they almost line up, but he misses the shot again. Oh, Zilkenberg. He's been disappointing so far in some of these situations. I know he said he's turning up on the AWP, but when you miss a shot or two like that, oh boy, you're going to struggle.
I mean, it's not the first time, right? We saw him over towards Car.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we saw him on the side as well, missing some very easy shots as they crossed. Sogu trying a very ambitious jump shot and way too slow to react. He saw a score, he had him in the sightlines, just needed to click on 16 health. That would have been the freest kill of his life. But unfortunately, the up shot connects, and so 15 to 10 we go. Matter of fact, I will jump in with a quick excuse. Maybe that's a ping thing combined with GoTV. You never know. It's a possibility, I guess, that he did see him. That's one thing. When you involve ping on GoTV, it can get a little bit freaky, a little bit weird.
Right.
Like you think, oh, he had time to shoot there, but on his screen he might not have.
I think also the tick rate of GoTV, if I remember correctly, is like a big factor of it. Oh my gosh, Sugu. Don't tell me it's a second. He should not be able to off of that. Zookmer gets another kill with the op in this round. And well, Mr. Cap's going to respawn with 2 himself, but it's still going to be a 3-person matchup between both teams. 2 towards the B side. Nu is left alone over towards A with the scout, and this is a really risky move on the timing window that he had to work with. He's going to actually push out towards long there to spot him out. This should be a kill for the T side. I'm not sure how they haven't connected. How does he have a chance to get off a second shot? It's about time for some rotations to come through. Zuckerberg now towards CT, able to help out. They have the 2 smokes to cover the cross. And we'll head on over. Bomb's still back down towards the bottom of long, though. And Noah's just spamming out shots, trying to go for the jump shots as we saw Score do before. And Noah's, well, he's unfortunately going to fall. Now, no smokes left, no utility left here for the T side to block off short. Zilkenberg has a big opportunity now coming from long to get some kills, except he's lost out a machine gun again. The disjointed push in might have cost Mazaalai not only the round, but the map.
Oh, good shot by Zilkenberg. He manages to dodge Annihilation's AWP shot for the first time in forever. And now moving in towards this site. It's a 1 versus 2. Looks to CT, but Mr. Cap hits the shot. A 3K for him in that round, putting him up to double digits and closing out the game. I think we did see it definitely, Jason, there in the final round as well.